Want to do a little talking about hog farming in general. I got the absolute hog farming treatment when I was younger. I got to grow up kind of from a hog farm. I started, I think, at the age of, oh, I don't know. I think I was 16 or 17 when I started washing out hog barns and stuff like that. So, hog farming in general was very rewarding to me when it came to the best paying job I had before before real money came to me. And I learned a lot in hog farming. I learned that the owners are the only ones that make money. That's the first thing I learned. I was definitely screwed for the time that I was spent there. Wage wise, I learned a lot. Plumbing, electricity, and in the basics of all that was a lot of fun. I'll never forget those starting though. My first day though, they sounded like dinosaurs when they come out the door. I don't know. Have you ever been around hogs? They are loud. They are so loud, and they sounded like roaring dinosaurs. I'll never forget just how loud they were, and you get used to it over the years, though. After a while, it just kind of fades with the time. But I was against the crates though in the beginning, and luckily I got a chance to try open pen and learn that the crates are what keep the pigs alive. And anybody that's against crate farming, you should go spend the day there and learn that that crate is literally what keeps her from laying on them. Without a crate, I know it looks inhumane, but the pigs die. And you're like, "Oh, how they lost back in the day?" If you ever notice, there's only 3 or 4 of them. Our sows nowadays are and this is not no insemination or anything. We have boars there at the facility. We bred there at the facility. They were having 12 pigs. These sows are having 12 pigs, and, on average, we would keep 9 to 10 of them at the end of the litter, so when she was done raising them, and when they were time to wean off of her. So, the crate is essential, otherwise she lays on 'em. They have nowhere to go or escape when she goes to lay down, so they know with that crate, they have certain safe areas that she can't get to lay on them. And no matter how loud they squeal, a sow will just lay there until they're dead, squished, done, can't breathe. So that's and people don't realize that till you actually do the job. So crates are essential, and so is getting the death out of there because the hogs will eat themselves. It is true. The rumors that they always said if you want to hide a body, you just throw it in a hog pen. That is true, but they'll root that thing underneath there'll be bones in the pit wherever they live too. I mean, they're not gonna it takes a little bit for the bones. Speaking from experience, if you don't get to a carcass in time, it gets pretty nasty, gnarly, gross. But that's just the fact of life. On hot summer days, if it dies at 9 o'clock and you don't check it until 6, I mean, it goes quick when it's hot. It stinks pretty bad. So, and hog farming in general, it does smell. It has that odor to it, and I never smelled it when I was in hog clothes, but after I got out, if I was cleaned up, I could smell it then. So, but are you ever truly cleaned up in a hog farm? I used to take them long showers and scrub up the best that I could, but man, it was a nasty job, man. You would come home just absolutely obliterated in hog shit. We did a farrow to finish there, and we raised 10,000 head of hog a year there, between the 2 facilities, and, I worked at both of them, though, helped out at both of them, and, we also farmed 3,900 acres too at that time, which now they've expanded even more, even further yet, and, they, uh, they have just really grown in general there, uh, exponentially, as retired farmers retire, they pick up that ground and it's all a big game of how much you're going to pay rent and everything to everybody, whoever owns it, or they buy it because let's face it, our farms here locally, I don't know if I've noticed that they become a monopoly. They are just absolutely gigantic. These a couple people own a lot of the county. Like they own a lot. And they just have ample amounts of money. They've had government surpluses and government money sent to them for years, and farmers make a lot of money. And if you work for them, though, you don't. I learned that really quick, and 10 years. I remember, getting switched to another job after that, after, had a spat with the owner, and, switched jobs. I remember crying. That money changed my life because I was struggling in the farm, man. Like, I was busting my ass, and I didn't make shit. And honestly, I don't know how they live with themselves today knowing what they paid me. It was insane, insane to me. They ought to be ashamed of themselves while they live in great big mansions and drive a new truck every year and new combines every other year. I didn't make shit, and my knees are shit because of that job. Running them hog panels and stuff like that. It takes a toll on your knees between that and the fire service. Yeah, it got me good. That and the grain farming, that was another whole story behind all that, because we had our own mill there. So we ground our own feed for the hogs and everything. So, we had to haul corn, harvest corn, plant corn and soybeans. Brought in our own soybean meal. We mixed everything right on site for these hogs. And nowadays they don't do that. They have another company that grinds it all and brings it. And there's that. But the planting season was always easy. It was so much laid back, relaxed, and the harvest time was absolutely insane. They expect you to work unethical hours for no overtime. And the fact that, and I already touched base a little bit about the pay. The fact that a farmer doesn't have to pay you overtime is absolutely insane to me. Insane. I mean, I worked for nothing. It was stupid. Like I can't believe what they were paying me. It was a minimum. It was above minimum wage, but it wasn't. For the job that I was doing and the toll it took on me. I don't even know how they sleep at night right now. And that's a farmer though. They're the ones making money. They're not. You're not. You're not going to make money unless you're actually the farmer. And you own it. So make sure you get into the farming industry. There's a reason they hire a lot of foreigners. The ones that I went to don't do that, but the people that work at lower levels of money because they don't want to pay nothing, and they don't let them. Don't even start listening to them when they start talking. Oh, we don't have any money either. Oh my god, it was you got money, motherfuckers. Stop it. Knock it off. Knock it off. It is what it is, though. I learned a lot. Laid a lot of field tile too for that corn. And on the off season, we were putting in field tile because the government was paying for that, and it was quite the task, quite the job, and hard work. I could eat anything back then. Now if I eat a cheeseburger, I'm doomed. I eat a cheeseburger now. I got to work it off for a whole week, and back then, I could eat whatever I wanted. Back then, okay, I was a fit kid. I had six pack and everything back then, and back then we used to go to McDonald's all the time, and this was my meal back then. Okay, I am not eating that today though. Uh, and this would be just my lunch, and that'd probably be about the only meal I eat. I eat a little light in the dinner time sometimes, but lunch was my main meal of the day. I can remember at one time I would eat, 5 sandwiches and a large fry and a Coke. Like like 4 double cheeseburgers and 2 McChickens or 4 McChickens and 2 double cheeseburgers or a double cheeseburger and a large fry. Like, I could put the food away back then because I was burning it, man. I was burning it because them barns were 80, 90 degrees all the time. 'Cause the little pigs, and then add on in the summertime where the air's so thick you can't even breathe, man. And even with the fans running, they got wall fans all over, they're running, it don't matter. It gets so fucking hot here in Indiana sometimes in the summertime to the point where you just can't even hardly breathe, and, I was an asthmatic, I've talked about that in a previous video. It was a tough job, and you may think, an asthmatic around dust and all that stuff, and you did yeah, we did, I did it, and, fire service too with the smoke. I get it, but I was able to do it, and, I'm glad I got to do what I got to do. So, anyways, thanks for watching. That's my little gist about, a little gripe about the hog farming in general. Quite the job, and I really wish I would raise some cows because after raising pork all this time, I really adore beef.